Good morning, dear students. We are at practical grammar lesson. The theme of our lesson is direct and indirect questions. This video is prepared by the teacher of special disciplines of the English language, Шадимуратова Махаббат Muratbayevna, Mangistau Humanitarian College, named after Мұрын Жырау Сеңгірбекұлы. As you can see, the way you make a speech and how you talk depends on where you are. You cannot use one form of speech to everyone and everywhere. So, we will talk about direct and indirect speech. The theme of our lesson, direct and indirect questions. At first, I want you to watch the video.
Do you know where I am?
Yes, I know where you are.
Well, where am I?
You are at 19th and Arch.
No, I'm not.
No comment.
I want to throw you in the river.
Okay, the nearest river is at 17th and Arch.
No, it's not.
Where's the regional rail line? This lesson's about how to ask strangers for help. Polite questions you can ask when you need information. Where's the regional rail line? Excuse me, can you tell me where the regional rail line is?
Yeah, it's that way.
Oh, thank you. You heard two different questions. Did you catch them? Now the first question is straightforward. You've got where and then the verb be. But look at the second one. The verb be is at the end. Let's look at another one. Where is room 401? Excuse me, could you tell me where room 401 is?
Why, certainly, ma'am. Just walk this way.
Thank you. Could you tell me? That one's an embedded question. A question inside another question. The ending has the same word order as a statement. We often use these embedded questions with strangers when we're asking for information and we want to be polite. Now, we've looked at questions with the verb be, but what about other verbs?
In direct and indirect speech, mostly use questions. Direct questions are the normal questions that we can ask to friends, family members, and people who we know well. The use of direct questions. We use them between our friends, co-workers, within our families, and group mates. Direct questions are WH questions. Where is the bathroom? What is he doing? And yes/no questions. For example, does John like flying? Was she a teacher? Indirect questions. Indirect questions are a little more formal and polite. We use them when talking to a person we don't know very well or in professional situations, and their form is a little different. The use of indirect questions we use at school, at work, in library, when we talk to strangers. Indirect questions has positive word order. For example, can you tell me where Abai Street is? Do you know what time the supermarket opens? And if weather For example, I'd like to know if you are living in Aktau. Do you know whether John likes flying? Indirect questions. Also, there are the keywords when we make indirect questions. Could you tell me? Do you know? Please tell me. I wonder if. Tell me. Have you any idea? I want to know. When we want to turn direct questions into indirect questions, we use this rule. For example, do you know where the hospital is? It is right version. Do you know where is the hospital? It is incorrect version. Grammar tips. Remember, we only use do, does, and did in questions and negatives. When you are writing the dependent clause in an indirect question, do not use do, does, or did. Examples. Regular question. Where did the teacher go? In indirect question, do you know where did the teacher go? It is wrong. Correct version. Do you know where the teacher went? Note, after the WH word, if or whether, use a sentence, not a question. Now, students, look at the screen. To conclude our lesson, let's do some tasks. In this task, you have turned direct questions into indirect questions. In this task, you use if and whether. Okay, students, in this lesson, you have learned about direct and indirect questions and rule and the use of direct and indirect questions. And I hope this lesson was useful, and now you know where and how to use direct and indirect questions. Our lesson is over. Goodbye.